being a god. And we have Gucci. Is that a tentacle? Now we are talking.
Has never been so
Oh my god, he's beautiful!
disgusting, because today, in Total Warhammer 3, we will be using arcane
He's
magic, careful
beautiful.
diplomacy, and eldritch
Wait, why was he...
In Total Warhammer 3, we will be using arcane magic,
Look at it, it's shiny, it's beautiful. I love it.
careful diplomacy, and eldritch abominations to subjugate the world and ascend to godliness. Standing in our way are hordes of beastmen, undead armies, and of course thousands of communists. For every one of these
The boys yearn for communism. What's up with gamer, autistic boys and communism? I'm starting to pinpoint the little tells, the little beige flags.
enemies we conquer, our commander grows in size and strength until he becomes a literal god. Can we spread our cult across the world, or will every endgame crisis on max difficulty stop us in our tracks? There's only one way to find out. We start our campaign at the Monument of the Moon and are immediately presented with a difficult decision. Do we want to develop caste-based slavery or experiment with blood
I would go for the blood rituals, but I respect the other choice.
sacrifices? I won't lie, my psychosexual need to dominate the poor is very
You're one? I am learning so much of the mental state of men in 2025.
strong, but my compulsion to draw with their blood is even stronger. After that, I began examining our military. We're equipped with several swamp monsters, a goblin shaman that looks suspiciously like Gilbert Gottfried, and our commander, a giant octopus named Croll. I try not to look at him too much,
He is beautiful. I think you should be looking at him because he is beautiful.
because those tentacles make me act up.
Oh my god, I love this man. Yes. He understands. He understands. He fucking understands. Lads, we are so in.
Right now, he's just a big fat idiot that gets bullied by enemy archers. But
He's
for every capital
beautiful.
city we capture, we can construct a Temple of Croll, which increases his weapon damage, armor, and mass by 5%. Our goal? Construct 20 temples so that we can ascend from trifling god to divine entity. First, we have to kill our
So
neighbor.
what's your favorite tentacle?
What's my favorite tentacle? I can't tell you, that's a personal one. You cannot just ask what's a girl's favorite tentacle. Come on.
This was when I understood just how large Croll was, because he looks like this on the auto-resolve. The Beastmen did their best, but after buffing Croll with sneaky stabbing, he absolutely gutted their army. It's at this point I realized I picked the best faction, because I can take my enemies as slaves and sacrifice them before each battle
It's so big. He's so big. The longest tentacle is L. Yeah, he is my big tentacle. See? He's a big boy.
to increase the potency of my magic spells. More on that later. With the Beastmen currently
Bro, how do they have infinite footage of the gotchi times? I swear to God, it's like every boy YouTuber has the same gay corn footage with Mr. Gotchi, and they are like, I know what the boys want. I fucking know what the boys want. This is what the boys want.
locked in my basement, I have to choose my next victim. In an effort to quickly monopolize the color green, I decide to start with the orcs. Unfortunately, all of their cities follow some Latin American naming system, which makes them very hard for me to pronounce. This causes me to vibrate with rage, but it doesn't stop me from auto-resolving them out of existence. In fact, it helped a lot. At this point, I was getting in character as some kind of settlement name auditor, punishing factions with pretentious or unimaginative naming systems, which led me directly to a town in the swamp named Swamp Town.
Every time I see him play this game, I have the urge to just download it, but it's like so intimidating because there's so many kind of enemies and classes and castes and everything. And I'm just like, but it looks so good.
Seriously, guys? I decided to penalize this faction by hiring a group of ogres to beat them to death with mallets. With Swamptown under new management, we now have regional stability and we can begin developing our economic infrastructure. However, that would be a massive mistake, because when you are playing a lord that looks like this, you are definitely not an economic faction. To put it simply,
I need to engage in homicidal behavior on a massive scale.
So quickly...
What? I don't remember that part in the movie. What? Hello?
Resuming the wanton slaughter of innocent people, I recruit a second general.
Yeah, as one does. It's from the movie. I have to rewatch it. Did you guys know that they are trying to make a remake out of it? I am so not interested. It's a perfectly fine movie. I don't know when it came out, but it still holds up perfectly. I don't want to need... They did... Wait, it's out? There's no way it's out.
And launch a preemptive strike against Lord Mazda Mundi at Port Reaver. Taking the settlement was quite easy, but surviving what came next was an entirely different matter. Because on the next turn, Mazda Mundi descended on Port Reaver with all 1,200 pounds of his...
He's fat. He's actually really fat.
Body positivity and began massacring thousands of innocent boglars. However, I have confirmed with top scientists that boglars are in fact not real people. They don't have rights, and we don't have
must be an influencer
to care when they die, so no big deal. But it was a big deal on the next turn when Mazda Mundi came down to Swamp Town and kicked the shit out of me. Suffering this many defeats so early in the campaign made me seriously consider ending it all. However, I quickly realized that my hatred for the lizards is marginally greater than my hatred for myself, and so I fought on. If you're ever in this situation, I'll tell you exactly how to win. Simply challenge your enemy to a rematch, sacrifice 400 innocent people to supercharge your spells, then spend the entire battle abusing Spirit
That's big.
Leech to kill all of their commanders. Don't tell anyone you did that shit though. They'll make fun of you and call you gay. Trust me, I'm speaking from experience.
You're such a homo, it's unbelievable. See, this is exactly how men talk to each other, and I think that's beautiful. I actually think that the men bromance is one of the most wholesomest thing. Casually, lovingly calling each other random things and slurs, that's the true sign of friendship. Yes.
Anyway, this marked a turning point in the war, because, simply put, everyone on the other side was dead. By the time we got to their capital city, they did have an army, but we quickly drowned them in a sea of boglar corpses. And I guess we also literally drowned them with these tidal waves. With the lizards now relegated to the fossil record, we have to plan our next move. I looked to the south and found opium farmers.
Hey Kiki! Welcome Raiders! Hello, hello, hello.
And in the north, manic sex criminals. I don't know if you've ever met a...
Oh my god, titties!
Dark elf, but canonically, they smell like cigarettes and boiled piss, so I try to avoid them at all costs. I started the war against Khaine by...
I don't want to sound like that, but these dark elves look surprisingly light-colored. Hello! Like, I don't know, man.
They smell like cigarettes and boiled piss, so I try to avoid them at all costs. I started the war against Khaine by ambushing them at the floating pyramid and capturing several of their cities. They sent their finest dumpling salesmen to stop me, but failed every time. Probably because I just unlocked this new artillery unit.
We should have more tentacles on the station.
And it fires literal laser beams. Not too bad. Eventually, Khaine unified their forces with Marcus Wolfhard and fought me at the Monument of Izatal. This was the exact point in the campaign where I realized Croll...
Why did you guys start writing, oh no? I thought you guys enjoy tentacles. Hello?
Croll is absolutely...
Dark is evil in this case? Aww. Well, that's kind of not nice.
Broken, because I now have tier 2 magic plus 100% spell intensity from sacrifices and another 45% from this item. You want to see what that looks like? Look at these spearmen. Now they're gone. That wasn't sped up. 1,500 people just died in 3 seconds. Now casting the big spells might seem like the way to go.
We should get something like that too, you know?
But I've discovered a more effective...
A big ball that sucks people. I'm actually a big fan of that. I think that's a good idea. That's a great idea.
Method, because after defeating Yon Bo in combat, I gained a trait which reduces the cost of all of my spells by 20%. This makes my tidal wave cost almost nothing. However, because of the slave sacrifices, it's strong enough to wipe out entire squads of archers in one shot. And to add insult to injury, Croll has the Brood Mother ability, which causes him to summon a miniature kraken whenever he kills enemy units. I'm sure you can imagine just how quickly...
It's so bloody. It's actually so surprising that they actually allowed so much blood. Like, it keeps splattering everywhere. Like, look at the goddamn field. You can't even touch grass anymore. You can only touch blood.
This got out of hand. I used this one weird trick to accumulate 1,200 kills on Croll in a single battle. I had this whole army thing wrong. I saw Croll and thought, disgusting swamp monster for melee combat. But really, he is one of the most well-educated and gifted mages of all time. Anyway, this probably goes without saying, but we won that battle pretty easily. By this point, the Chinese are finished, Marcus is homeless, and if you're an 8-limbed monstrosity, things are going pretty good. We never.
Hooray! Hello, thank you. DLC blood pack, I would pay for it. These are the microtransactions that are worth it. More blood, more gore.
Now have 4 capital cities with 2 temples and more.
Or maybe they could make a Chinese version where it's all just white, and that would be the DLC. And everything is just covered with white.
Being built every turn. I can taste godhood, and it tastes like dead Bretonians. It's at this point you're probably wondering, Reggie, do you actually have a plan, or are you going to just keep killing people? To which I reply, that is the plan. That's always been the plan, in every single video. In my effort to accumulate as many capital cities as possible, I began physically annihilating the Brets. Sure, they have good cavalry, because their knights are so well trained that they're practically one with their horse. However, my cavalry are literally one with their.
Oh my god. That is. Oh. Oh.
Horse, because I have used dark magic to anatomically fuse them together.
No, I was just looking at them hanging and whatnot.
Imagine this, you're a French peasant. The only things you know.
I don't want to imagine that. Can I imagine literally anything else than being a French peasant?
No, are be stinky and die from shitting yourself. Then imagine seeing these ungodly abominations cresting the hill. It's fair to say that you are unprepared for what's about to happen, as was Alberic. In fact, at one point, I ended my turn in march stance beside 2 full Bretonian stacks, because I fundamentally do not respect them. All in all, we had their entire empire wiped out within 10 turns. It was at this point I realized Jan Bo is actually still alive. I just stole all of his territory, and since then, he's been camping outside my settlements, like a homeless vagrant who steals my recyclables just to survive. After 10 turns of this, he worked up the courage to bonsai charge a nearby settlement. By himself. What an asshole. Anyway, I gotta say, he really went for it. It's almost.
Bro, what is he supposed to do? He had been humiliated. He had been like dragged across everything. He lost everything. He's only using the McDonald's Wi-Fi to download corn. What is he supposed to do?
Almost like he didn't have a choice. Maybe he was drafted or even enlisted, the sponsor of today's video. Enlisted is a first-person shooter that offers a mixture of PvP and PvE combat. Lead a squad of customizable AI soldiers.
Thank you for most
While this was happening, we were having some issues with a tribe of lizard men led by Gor Rock. You see, he's an unhinged sociopath on a suicide mission to make you uninstall the game. I can say that confidently because he absolutely devastated Croll in a head-to-head battle, and after I tried to finish him off with a second army, he laughed at me, spit.
Do I want context? No, I don't want context. It's alright. That's perfectly fine. Yeah. Yeah.
Spit in my mouth and beat me mercilessly. My greatest victory against him came on the 3rd attempt.
Bro, I think Reggie is kind of down bad. Like, I don't want to be like that, but spit in my mouth? Hello? Does he want to talk about it with someone? Just like us.
Where I managed to kill everyone in his army before he single-handedly beat all of my remaining soldiers to death. I genuinely believed I could defeat Gor Rock.
But it turned out I was, in fact, a soy boy. I was a low-T cup.
Oh my god, is this Boogie? He's so normal looking. Holy shit.
I want you to, no, I need you to understand that the only way to kill Gor Rock is by accepting a Pyrrhic victory auto-resolve. I don't care how much it costs, it's worth it. I did this myself, and with Gor Rock out of the picture, we quickly steamrolled his empire, just in time for a bioterrorist to declare war on us. The Skaven decided to take the fight to us, which is really unfortunate for them.
It must be the French, it's full of rats. It's always the French.
Because we've just upgraded our cavalry to this. What is it and where is it?
What is that? Where is the lower jaw? What is that? Any French person can explain what am I looking at? Is it like a pet or a friend? Girlfriend, a boyfriend?
Is its lower jaw? I don't know, but I do know that its anatomical abnormality makes it ideal for swallowing entire rats without chewing. The war with Lord Scroll lasted about 15 turns, and it went something like this. Get attacked by rats, kill literal millions of them, realize you're still outnumbered, somehow win anyway. Siege battle, lose a siege battle, because you didn't see the rats on the south wall, and now you don't have any control points. Increase your blood pressure in frustration, retaliate with tremendous violence, get ambushed again and again and again. Get so angry that you black out, wake up on the defeat screen, and scream into the void.
To be fair, the French does have the defect on people, so I'm not surprised.
Winning battles by abusing magic. Don't have mercy. Team up with a demented pirate to destroy their capital cities, and eventually the war is over. Well, sort of. You see, it's turn 90, and the endgame event just triggered all of the endgame events. Compared to the rest of the world, we got off pretty lucky, but we do still have to deal with a vermin tide, which means Skrolk is back, and he brought 3 of his finest ball washers to cause trouble. We had to...
His finest ball washers? Did he say a ball washer? Is that a job? Can you be a professional ball washer?
Fight them using just Croll and an army of swamp demons. The game thinks we're going to lose, but what it's not accounting for is my strategic unpredictability. In fact, even I don't know what I'm going to do on a second-by-second basis. But I started by casting a lot of spells, and it was going very well. Honestly, I wish I could take credit for this, but there were so many rats I could probably be doing this blindfolded and killing just as many. Rampaging octopi crashed through their front line, tsunamis obliterated their slingers, and my off-brand lizard men chased down all the survivors. All in all, we won the battle, and Croll came out with over 1,000 kills. At this point, we're only a renegade god with 7 temples constructed, so we still have a lot of work to do. Now, I could just be a loser.
You know, you guys should start erecting some temples and churches and whatever for me too. Maybe we would start growing more tentacles.
And play this safe,
That'll be
but
pretty
instead,
good. Yeah, erect! Make it big and erecting big temples. And churches. We are erecting something for sure. Ah.
decided to sail my armies across the ocean and fight the strongest faction on the map, the Tomb Kings. We came ashore on their borders and quickly realized how bad of a decision this was, because every settlement here is totally uninhabitable. I pretended not to be bothered by this, because that seems like the kind of thing a god would do, but in reality it made building and recruiting troops very challenging. Apart from that, the war with Khemri was going quite well. All of their armies were tied up in the east fighting with the dwarves and Tzeentch, so they were woefully unprepared when we showed up and started trashing the place. Part of the issue for them was that I was shamelessly abusing these guys right here. The Balefire Apprentice is a magical ranged unit, and I figured out that by making an entire army out of them, I can absolutely melt just about everything on the Tomb King roster. Even better still is that each one of them has access to spirit.
I love this song. Every time I hear it, I'm just like, it's such a jam.
Leech. This spell by itself can drain enemy lords pretty effectively, but since I have 15 apprentices, I can cast 15 instances of it at the same time. Then, remember that I've sacrificed slaves to double the potency, so we've effectively cast 30 spirit leeches on this poor skeleton, and he has been liquefied within 5 seconds. I'm not proud to
Bro, I can't believe that there's so many hands grabbing a ball.
Spirit leeches on this.
That is the ultimate CBT.
Poor skeleton, and he has been liquefied within 5 seconds. I'm not proud.
Can you imagine so many hands on your balls? Is this a daydream? Is that something good? Be gentle, please. I will consider.
Proud to say it, but this tactic won us a lot of territory in the desert. It's now turn 108, and things are going very well. We have 11 temples, almost 10,000 slaves, a good chunk of North Africa, and we just unlocked a massive buff for our Balefire apprentices. However, this would soon change, because after I pressed the next turn button, every AI on the map entered into some kind of satanic pact to ruin my life. Khemri started pushing aggressively from the east. Then Ikit Claw started attacking us from the north. Following this, some Dark Elves decide they want to harvest my organs in Lustria. Meanwhile, some Wood Elves put us on a stretching.
Oh my god, what are these footages.
Rack ass first. And finally, gangs of chaos dwarves used a cartoon drilling
Reggie,
machine to pop up randomly across Lustria and begin shooting us to death. So basically, we're in a war on 5 fronts. And no, it's not going well. We were losing about 4 battles per turn. In moments like these, all you can do is put on a strong face, because it's not gay to be pounded by 5 men unless you moan.
Is it not? Is it?
Put on a strong face, because it's not gay to be pounded by 5 men unless you moan. However, the fight that
And the balls touch. The balls can never touch. These are no. Did the balls touch? They can't. I'm sorry. If your balls touch, then I'm sorry to say that this still counts. No moaning, no balls touching. The pee-pee can touch. That's fine, but the balls, it cannot.
that really broke me was this one against Ikit. The auto-battler said it was a close defeat, so I thought I could win. I load the map and it seems normal. Then I go cry on the toilet for 25 minutes. For some reason, while I'm away, the map begins to change. The sand is getting marginally brighter by the second. By the time I return, it looks like this. The entire map is covered in some kind of oversaturated glow that makes it virtually impossible for me to see what the fuck is going on. If it wasn't for the health bars, I wouldn't even know where my units were, let alone that they're currently being shot with Gatling guns. I tried my best to win this fight, but attempting to identify enemy units under these conditions proved remarkably
Why does it look like someone just radioactively pissed all over the map? What is this? What am I looking at?
difficult. Oh, you thought you sent your swordsman to go fight some archers. Well, bad news. That's actually a giant mutated rat man and everyone is dead. This is it.
It's the lack of tentacles, gentlemen. That's the problem. There is simply just not enough tentacles.
Rock bottom. I knew there was only one way to get out of this, and it's going to cost me a lot of money. We have access to a unit called a Demonomaniac. It's very good at killing, everything. So against the advice of my financial advisor, I went...
Wait, what was it saying? Please don't, my lord. The children will starve and the peasants will revolt against your grandiloquence. I don't know that one.
I went ahead and built a Doomstack with 10 of these fine young men. And let me tell you, as
the children will just eat each other, it's fine.
far as antidepressants go, this is the best I've ever had. I unlocked 20% ward save for them and spent the next 15 turns on Cloud 9, absolutely obliterating my way through the Tomb King.
He's such a good boy. He's working so hard.
Empire. All of my other armies were dedicated to holding my borders while Croll systematically disassembled the strongest faction in the game. Don't worry, I didn't kill them. I left them alive just enough to appreciate how gimped their faction has become. With the Tomb Kings in a medically induced coma, our situation is still complicated but a lot more manageable.
He's fine. He's just resting. He had a really hard day, actually, the Tomb King.
Naturally, our finances are still stretched thin, and the Wood Elves are becoming a big problem. You see, every man has a single thread of insanity woven into the very fabric of their being.
Bro, that must have been the hardest bust of his life. No wonder that he has already 2 kids. Jesus Christ.
The Wood Elves are made exclusively from these threads, and as such, they've been on a murderous rampage in the north. I've been slowing them down by sacrificing millions of boglars, but this is not a long-term solution. Luckily, we were able to erect several temples of Croll in the desert, and we're quickly closing in on godhood. There's just one more thing we need, and it's sitting all the way in Ulthuan. I had Croll take to the seas and make his way there. Sitting patiently in this castle is a weapon of immeasurable power, wielded by a demon named Enkari.
Wait, what? Are those tits? Is this a woman? Oh, she's British. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, no, I see it now. It's a sex demon. It's just British. It's fine. Yeah, that's a single tit. It's a single tin. Yeah, that's fine.
Enkari.
Look at the teeth! It's your people!
Actually pretty good friends, but not for long, because I'm going to kill him and claim the sword of Khaine. I started the
lopsided titty
battle, and on paper, we're definitely the underdog. But what the game forgot to consider is this.
Yeah! Wow, wow.
Hordes of sexed-up freaks charged across the field towards us, but my demonomaniacs were having absolutely none of it. Honestly, it was very enjoyable, and not just because there were thousands of muscular men whipping me, but because I started...
I'm starting to pick up on details what Reggie's into. I kind of like it. Yeah, I'm noticing a pattern too. I respect that. I kind of like it.
Started using this spell. Yeah, that's...
He's a cheeky boy. He's one of us.
Pretty nasty, even for Slaanesh. And Kari was quite tough, and he was even able to overpower my demonomaniacs. But as it turns out, he is remarkably susceptible to level 1 magic such as Spirit Leech. We finished up the battle with hardly any damage taken, sacked the settlement for 19,000 gold, and claimed the Sword of Khaine. This gives Croll 25 melee attack, 450 armor piercing, 20% ward save, and a vortex ability that just ruins everyone's day. With this weapon, I felt like a new man, like nothing could stop me. So
those are some nice curves, bro. Look at that. That boy is ready. He has his sword, he is built up, ass is tight. He's ready.
So the first thing I did was sail across the ocean and kick the shit out of Ikit Claw before burning his capital city to the ground and Fortnite dancing on the ashes. Oh yes, this feels very good. While this was going on, I had some luck in my war against the Dark Elves. Finding them out of position, I was able to take several key settlements and cripple their empire. Their destruction was the final piece to this whole puzzle, because we're at 18 temples, and after capturing their settlements and doing some construction, it pushed us to 20. Level 50 Croll with the Sword of Khaine is now a god of the depths. With 135 armor, the largest mass of any lord in the game, between 1400 and 2500 weapon strength, plenty of regeneration, overpowered spells, and 15,000 health. Considering he also has...
That's a big boy. That's a big boy, gentlemen. That's... all praise the Tentacle King.
90% damage reduction. That means you'd need to deal about 150,000 damage just to kill him. On paper, we are a god.
Godhood license. There you go. There we have it. It's right there. Sex daily. Yes. Truly. Absolute peak. He's chunky. Look at him. He's beautiful.
But it's time to prove it. I brought Croll back to Lustria and emptied out his army. Everyone else is going north to push...
Listen, would you not sex that beauty? Everyone would sex that beauty. I believe in.
Back the Wood Elves, but Croll is going to stuff himself into this drilling machine and travel all the way across the map to finish off the Chaos Dwarves by himself. I came through the portal, and before me were several dwarven armies, a few settlements, and their capital city Zar Nagrund. This is basically their equivalent of Mecca, and if we can destroy it, well, they probably wouldn't like that very much. I started the campaign by castrating Gorazin the Breaker and 700 of his men. Apparently, this was a heroic deed. That was easy. On to the next battle. This was where it got interesting, because it's just Croll versus 5,000 Chaos Dwarves. I drove him straight...
He can do it. He's a big boy. He has so many temples and he is so chunky. I believe in him.
Straight into the crowd and popped all of his spells while screaming at the top of my lungs. They had about 10 units of archers firing flaming...
Don't you project your desire on me? I'm sorry, if you're yearning for the tentacle, that's not on me, okay? Don't be too shy. It's not gay to like the tentacles, okay? It's perfectly normal for a nice growing boy to yearn for the tentacles. Yeah.
Arrows into the side of Croll for 15 minutes straight, but they couldn't get past his regeneration. The Sword of Khaine, Kraken's Pull, and Purple Sun tore through the blobs of conscript soldiers, and eventually I had generated enough power to use this ability. It summons a gang of feral bog beasts that began cleaning out the enemy back line. Wave after wave of dwarves shuffled onto the battlefield, only to be added to the collage of dead bodies that surround Croll. In moments like these, you might feel bad for the short kings. But in this judgmental and materialistic world, it's not enough to be tall. You have to actively be anti-short. So I did what I had to do and murdered 5,000 dwarves with my bare hands. After cleaning up a few more battles and
rest in peace, short kings.
Crashing the game, I had made my way to Zar Nagrund. These rat bastards have been popping up in my territory like post-apocalyptic Mormons.
Bro, why do they have these beautiful hats? Why are they such fashionistas? Is this the French again?
For the past 35 turns.
Wait, these are not the rats. These are evil tiny people.
And I'm finally going to put an end to it. They didn't make it easy for me though. Croll charged towards the front gate and absorbed about 15,000 bullets to the face. After breaking through, it wasn't much better. We had to battle our way past centaur demons, flame warriors, and lots of incels, all while
Incels, you say?
being blasted with heavy ordnance. Although, at some points, the artillery was actually working in our favor. You fire cluster bombs at me. I take 10% damage. Everyone else, they're dead. Not for nothing, this was the first battle where they actually made me hit the regen cap. So hypothetically, they could have killed me if they had more units. But they didn't. And once I was done smashing them into a dwarf puree, I forced their commanders to land, at which point Croll smacked them for 50% of their health with each gyration of his grotesque body. After 12 minutes,
He's a beautiful boy. Don't body shame my boy. What the hell? You made him go glorious and huge.
it was all over, and we had emerged victorious. Friedrich Nietzsche famously proclaimed, "God is dead," but he had syphilis in his brain, so what the fuck does he know?
That is true. True. Solid point. Also, his glasses are stupid. So, yeah.
God is alive and well,
True.
and he's covered in the blood of short men. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Finally, thank you to Enlisted for sponsoring the video. Changing history so that Japan wins the war is a lot of hard work, and I need your help. Play for free on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation using my link below to get plenty of free stuff.
I liked it. This was good.